So I'm preparing these notes for you to be able to review this when you return from Thanksgiving break. We are looking at solving polynomial equations, and things have not really changed. We are going to always try to take out the GCF. Then we are going to look at whether we have a difference of squares, a sum of cubes, or perhaps a perfect trinomial, which we can think of when we completed the square. Also, you could look at just standard factoring, a general trinomial where we multiplied a and c, and those two numbers need to add to b, and we wrote two binomials for those situations. And also, if you have 4 or more terms, chances are you probably need to take out a GCF and then look at grouping. Rewriting a polynomial in quadratic form we're not going to touch on right now, but is something that could be useful to you if you would like to take that to the next step. So we're not going to talk about it yet, and we may talk about it when I return. If you cannot factor a polynomial at all, then it would be something that is prime, or it already is at the lowest amount of factors. So for here, and this is just a review of these notes, so they should be pretty simple. We are going to look at what these things have in common. So there's a trinomial here that each have an a, and a trinomial here that are put together to become this polynomial. And if you notice, these all have a, so we could write this as a times 3x plus 2y minus z, and add that to b times 3x plus 2y minus z. Now, because these two are exactly the same, we can rewrite this as what's in front of this plus what's in front of that times what's inside. So 3x plus 2y minus z. Hopefully that's legible enough. Okay, so that would be the end. This would be your solution. All right, moving on, we have 8c cubed minus 125d cubed. So big key here, cubes. And we have addition or subtraction you always want to look at. Firstly, do they have anything in common? This is an odd number, this is an even number, no 2's, so nothing in common to begin with. Then we need to look. We have cubes and it's subtraction. So come back up here to your cheat sheet. I have cubes and subtraction right here. Difference of cubes. A cubed minus b cubed will be a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So we need to take what we have and write it as what is the cube root of the first term and what's the cube root of the second term. So a will be what is the cube root of 8? That's 2. What's the cube root of c? That's c. Oh, c cubed, excuse me. Then we look at b. What's the cube root of 125? That's 5, because 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. And d cubed simplifies to d. So we're going to take 2c and 5d and write them in this form. A minus b, a squared plus ab and plus b squared. So a minus b will be 2c minus 5d. And then a squared will be 2c, we're going to square that, and we'll simplify it here in a minute, plus a times b, so 2c times 5d is 10cd, and then b squared, plus b squared, 5 squared is 25, hang on, okay, plus 5 squared is 25, and d squared. So the only thing we have to simplify here is we could have written this 2c